This is every military robot deployed in combat, from remotely operated ground vehicles to autonomous aerial systems, including reconnaissance platforms, explosive disposal machines, and armed unmanned assets. In total, dozens of distinct robotics systems have been fielded across land, air, and maritime domains. Some represented advanced automation and networked warfare, while others reflected urgent adaptation under operational pressure. Early remotely operated ground systems to first combat robots emerge as simple remotely controlled machines designed to reduce human exposure to direct threats. These systems prioritized reliability over autonomy. Wheelbarrow Bomb Disposal Vehicle. The Wheelbarrow Bomb Disposal Vehicle was an early remotely operated platform developed for explosive ordnance disposal. It featured a track chassis, manipulator arm, and onboard cameras deployed by British forces in Northern Ireland. It enabled safe inspection and neutralization of improvised explosive devices. Its limited speed and payload restricted broader tactical use beyond specialist roles. Andros Ceres. The Andros family of robots was developed for explosive disposal and hazardous material response, equipped with articulated arms, cameras, and disruptors. These systems were deployed extensively by U.S. forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. They performed thousands of missions involving suspected explosives and booby traps. High maintenance demands and vulnerability to small arms fire limited their survivability in contested areas. Talon Military Robot. Talon Robot was a modular track system designed for reconnaissance and explosive disposal. It could be fitted with sensors, manipulator arms, and weapon mounts. Talon units were deployed widely during counterinsurgency operations in Iraq. Weaponized variants proved difficult to control precisely and were rarely used in direct combat. Armed ground robot systems. As conflicts evolve, some robotic platforms were adapted or designed to carry weapons, expanding their roles beyond support tasks. Swords Platform. Special Weapons Observation Reconnaissance Detection System, known as Swords, was an armed derivative of the Talon robot. It mounted light machine guns for remote engagement. Deployed experimentally in Iraq, it demonstrated the technical feasibility of armed ground robots. Operational reliability concerns and command authority issues led to its withdrawal. Uran-9 Unmanned Combat Ground Vehicle. Uran-9 was a Russian-tracked unmanned ground combat vehicle armed with cannons, missiles, and machine guns. It was deployed in Syria for combat testing. The system suffered from communication failures and limited situational awareness. These shortcomings restricted its effectiveness and informed subsequent redesign efforts. Themis Unmanned Ground System. Themis Platform was a modular unmanned ground vehicle developed for logistics and support roles. Armed variants were tested with automatic weapons and missile systems deployed by multiple armed forces, including in Eastern Europe. It demonstrated flexibility across missions. Combat use remained limited, with most deployments focused on transport and surveillance. Reconnaissance and surveillance robots. Unarmed robotic systems played a significant role in intelligence gathering and battlefield awareness. TACBOT. TACBOT was a lightweight tracked robot used for reconnaissance and explosive disposal. Its compact size allowed deployment in urban environments and confined spaces. Widely used by coalition forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, it became one of the most recognizable military robots. Limited mobility in rough terrain constrained its operational envelope. Throbot was a small throwable reconnaissance robot designed for rapid situational awareness. It provided live video and audio feeds after being deployed into buildings or enclosed areas, used primarily in urban operations. It supported infantry units during room-clearing missions. Its short battery life limited sustained operations. Aerial combat robots. Unmanned aerial systems represent the most numerous and impactful category of combat-deployed military robots. RQ-1 Predator. RQ-1 Predator was an unmanned aerial vehicle originally designed for reconnaissance. It was later armed with precision-guided missiles, deployed extensively in Afghanistan and other theaters. It enabled persistent surveillance and targeted strikes. Vulnerability to air defenses limited its use in contested airspace. MQ-9 Reaper. The MQ-9 Reaper was a larger and more powerful successor to the Predator. It combined long endurance with increased payload capacity, used in multiple conflicts. It conducted surveillance, strike, and support missions. High operating costs and reliance on secure communications constrained. Deployment flexibility. Bayraktar TB2. The Bayraktar TB2 was a medium-altitude, unmanned combat aerial vehicle. It carried guided munitions and advanced sensors, deployed in Syria, Libya, and Ukraine. It achieved notable success against armor and air defense targets. Losses increased as adversaries adapted countermeasures. Harab loitering munition. The Harab was a loitering munition designed to autonomously seek and destroy radar emitters. It combined surveillance and strike capabilities in a single expendable platform used by multiple armed forces. It proved effective against air defense systems once launched. Mission abort options were limited. Maritime and underwater robots. Robotics systems also extended into naval warfare, particularly in mine countermeasures and surveillance. Seafox Mine Disposal System. Seafox was a remotely operated underwater vehicle designed to neutralize naval mines. It carried explosive charges to destroy detected threats. Deployed by several navies. It reduced risk to human divers. Its single-use design increased operational costs. REMUS 600 Autonomous Underwater Vehicle. REMUS 600 was an autonomous underwater vehicle used for reconnaissance and mine detection. It operated with limited human control once deployed. Used in multiple naval operations. It enhanced situational awareness in literal environments, recovery and maintenance requirements. Limited rapid redeployment. Experimental and specialized combat robots. Some robotic systems were fielded in limited numbers for testing or niche missions. Perdix Microdrone. Perdix was a microdrone designed for swarm operations, deployed experimentally by the U.S. Department of Defense. It demonstrated distributed control and collective behavior. Combat use was limited to controlled demonstrations. Payload capacity and endurance remained minimal. Cargo-2 loitering munition. The Cargo-2 was a small autonomous loitering munition designed for counter-personnel missions. It featured onboard target recognition capabilities. Deploy in limited combat scenarios. It marked a shift toward increased autonomy. Ethical and command concerns restricted widespread adoption. Logistics and support robots. Beyond combat roles, robots were deployed to support frontline forces and reduce human workload. Mule unmanned ground vehicle. Mule was designed to transport supplies and equipment for infantry units. It featured autonomous navigation and obstacle avoidance, tested in combat zones. It reduced physical strain on soldiers, technical complexity and reliability issues limited. Sustained deployment. SMSS Squad Mission Support System. The SMSS was a robotic cargo carrier capable of following troops autonomously. It transported ammunition, water, and equipment. Deploy experimentally in Afghanistan. It demonstrated logistical potential. Nose and maintenance requirements reduced operational acceptance. This catalog has presented every major military robot deployed in combat across ground, air, and maritime environments. These systems perform reconnaissance, logistics, explosive disposal, and direct combat roles. Collectively, they illustrate the gradual integration of robotics into modern warfare, shaped by technological capability, operational necessity, and strategic constraint. Taken together, these machines reflect the evolving balance between human decision-making and mechanical execution. In contemporary military operations,